welcome to another live stream watch along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to first of two tonight, Columbus Crew versus FC Cincinnati 2025 MLS Cup Playoffs Eastern Conference quarterfinal game 2. Columbus Crew did lose game 1 to FC Cincinnati. Cincinnati could sweep tonight if they win in Columbus. The hell is real derby to decide a team who moves on to the playoff or through the playoff. First of 2 games tonight. There are 4 streams left in this room. 2 today, 1 tomorrow, and 1 on Wednesday. So we're playing out the string here in this room. By the way, just to be clear, the new studio will debut by Thursday of next week. So 4 more streams and 3 more reviews in this room, by the way, just to be clear. So enjoy it. But with that being said, we're ready to go. Columbus Crew contra FC Cincinnati en la MLS Cup Playoffs este conferencia cortos de final partido 2. Columbus leads serie líder de serie 1-0. Or Cincinnati líder de serie 1-0. Columbus la local de partido 2. With that being said, lineups are as follows. Yeah, I know. That's like the one positive about all that, except it's mostly Dodgers fans seeing it. Most of them are nice, though. So that's cool. If you're here, welcome. Probably not. Hell is real. We're about to see it 2 times in one day. I saw it 3. Jays lose. Forge lose. Hell is real derby. I saw it 3 times. Forge finally missed the CPL finals, so that kind of helps me there. We're back to regularly scheduled programming, though. With that being said, starting 11s are as follows. For Columbus Crew in goal, we have Patrick Schulte. The back 4, Max Arston, Multi Amundsen, Steven Herrera, Andres Herrera, or Marcelo Herrera, my bad. The midfield 4 of Taha Habrun, Darlington Nagbe in his final postseason. Could be his final game ever. Dillon Shambo, Sean Zawadski, Hugo Picard, and Diego Rossi for Columbus Crew. For FC Cincinnati, we have Roman Celentano, the back 3 of Alvis Powell, Miles Robinson, Teenage Adibi, the midfield 5 of Edgar, Echenique, Pavel Bucha, Evander. We have Samuel Guidi and Yuya Kubo. And up top, we have Brenner and Kevin Denke. Those are our starting 11s tonight in this match. How'd the Patriots barely win? They won. I don't care. Give me something. The Steelers won and the Patriots won. Give me something. Let me have something. I don't want to talk about. No, I blame Harold Ballard. I mean, I've actually taken this pretty well, all things considered. Yeah, I cried a little bit, but other than that, I mean, I'm feeling nothing, which I feel nothing. I feel numb. So it is what it is. Broncos won. Good for y'all. Speaking of, let me mark down these NFL games. Roman Celentano in goal. We already went over the 11s. I don't have to do it again. It was that close. Mark out this pick sheet. Too many things in my hands. So far, at least, the NFL pick sheet. That's not what I wanted. I did not want Mississippi State football. They won. Oh, Mississippi State won. That's nice. I would have totally traded that for a World Series. Still haven't found a CPL team, and I still stand with the MLB is a dead league. I won't ever see the Blue Jays make another World Series in my life, as they're admitting they're blowing up the team. That's not the way I heard it, but that's not the way I heard those exit interviews, but who knows? Maybe they will, and I'll be pissed if they do. Have to blow it up at some point. Maybe that's where I am. I just have to be professional. I don't know. I feel nothing. Yep. Well, at least, y'all got swept. Y'all got swept to the Red Sox, which at the time they were basically the Dodgers. Yeah. I don't think that hurts worse, actually. Like the Rockies they were lucky to be there. That was an amazing run, by the way. I'm taking nothing away from the Rocktober Rockies. That was an amazing run to watch. Todd Helton was amazing. Tulo, Cargo, the team that they had, that was an amazing run. But it was like the White Sox, but ended badly. It was like the 05 White Sox, but ended badly. You know? I don't think that hurts as bad as what the Jays had. Like, no expectations either, but we went to 7 and almost beat them. We had the 3-2 lead and we blew it. So, I don't know. Super Bowl 48, yeah, that was a bad one. Well, I mean, we did beat the Yankees. So, but Florida's Florida. You should know you're a Florida Panthers fan. That was a stupid. We didn't realize who Florida were, and no. And by the way, I don't think somebody actually chanted "We won Florida" the second time. That was videos from the 2 years ago, or maybe some dumbass trolling us. But I don't think anybody really wanted Florida. I don't think anybody really wanted Florida this time. Either way, we didn't know what Florida were the first time. And well, should we have said we don't need Ohtani till we won? Probably should have saved it, but I don't think that means anything. I just think we're too trigger happy on that. Yeah. Exactly. Because it is. Because they care more about Joe Burrow and Jamar and all that. No, I don't. I think those were trolls who were doing that to just screw with us. By the way, Ravens Dolphins was wrong. I was right about that. Let's see. Giants San Fran. Giants only won. 49ers only won by 10, but I'm still right. Let's check mark. Chargers Titans. I had the Chargers winning, yes. Minnesota Detroit. I was wrong. Detroit lost by 3. Cincinnati Chicago. Yeah, no, I saw that ending. That was bad. Green Bay Carolina. Wrong. Carolina actually won a game. Patriots won. Good. Colts lost to the Steelers. I picked the Colts and they're frauds. Awesome. At least Steelers won though. I'm happy about that. Denver beat. Yeah, he said Denver won, but there we go. Jacksonville Vegas is still going. They're losing by 3. The Saints are losing to the Rams. Said they would. Kansas City is losing to the Bills. Said that would happen. That's 8:20 Monday night. All right. Which we have one game to cover anyway. We're going to get going soon. Here we go. How we doing, Dillon? Yeah, and Elway lost what? 4 of them? He finally got 2, though. Hopefully at some point TFC does what they have to do to win. And you get to cheer for them to actually win. Hopefully. We're going to be live for Austin LAFC later tonight, and that's the game we're going to review. The 4th to last stream in this room. Or would it be 3rd to last because there's still 3 more? I don't know. I'm not good at math. Either way. Dillon with 5 gifted subs. 5 gifted subs from Dillon. Thank you very much, sir. Let me go get a card and write these down. So I can bring them up on the review. Go get a card so I can write these down. Game will start soon. Ow. There we go. There we go. All right. Boom. Okay. El Mini, No Name, Sam, Pedro Mendez, Edgar Cruz. Thank you, Dillon. Elway has 3 rings. He was part of Super Bowl 50 squad as a GM. Does that really count? Welcome back. Welcome back. I don't know. Did Sam get one before? I'm trying to remember. Welcome or welcome back. Pedro, welcome. I have no idea, Pacharo. We're cursed. Harold Ballard, I guess. Harold Ballard, I guess. That's why. All right. That's good. We'll wait till like halftime so I'll fill out the rest of these 405s. Yes, Graham, that's tomorrow. That's the only stream tomorrow and review because it's the only game tomorrow. So, yes, I am. That's why I said there's 4 streams left in this room. 4. Next one's 3. 3 reviews. Tonight's review. Stream tomorrow's 2. And then review tomorrow's 2. And then Wednesday's game is the final one in this room. Should be moved into the new place by Thursday. Now, I don't know if you'll see the new set that night. There might be a couple of streams this weekend where it's just my room at the new place, and then we go to the new set. But so it still might not be the new set yet until next week, but or the weekend. But we'll see what's going on there. Canada Hockey won last year. McKinnon was MVP. Yeah, but that wasn't a Game 7. That was just a final. There's a difference. And it wasn't Toronto. It was Canada as a country. Again, difference. Jaguars lead the Raiders. Bills beating the Chiefs. Saints losing to the Rams, which, who are we kidding? The Rams. The Saints suck this year. He says wearing a Saints jersey. And we're off. And Cincinnati kicks off. They lead the series 1-0. If Cincinnati wins tonight, regular time or penalties, they will move on to the next round of the MLS Cup playoffs. If Columbus wins, they go to a Game 3. You know, there's so many Game 3s this year. Like, we're already – I got to see how 2023 went. But it feels like we have the most Game 3s we've seen in MLS, or at least equal in one season. Seriously, I think we do, weirdly enough. Which is good because, I mean, I basically preempted a lot of MLS content for the past week due to the World Series, and CONCACAF. So, yeah, I think Game 3s are a good thing. So many Game 3s is an amazing thing for me. But then again, the World Series game did do pretty well when it came to views. How we doing, Rory? Well, it's going to be a year before you know it, I should say. It's what, 10 months, 8 months ago, 9 months ago? It was late February was the Four Nations. Well, let's just say if there were any Four Nations babies conceived in Canada, they should be born right about now. If not already. Holy shit. God, time flies. With that being said, that's a save. And Celentano's down hurt after making the save 2 minutes in. Broncos won last second field goal. We could spend money on both. You do realize that even if TFC spends money, there's still going to be enough for the Jays. You do realize that, right? Just from what they've earned throughout the World Series run. And also the fact that Rogers is a freaking rich corporation and MLSE is basically just Rogers now. Either way, Celentano might have got a concussion there. I think they could spend on both and we'll be just fine. Hey, I'm just glad Portland set it to a game 3. I think they deserved it, in my opinion. Picard ran into Celentano. Whatever coat that concussion doctor is wearing, that's pretty cool. Like that brown coat, that tan coat, that is cool. Looks high class, but cool. I like it. That's dripping. That concussion doctor's tan coat, dripping. Dripping. I like it. With that being said, yeah, Picard ran knee first into Celentano's head, trying to get the ball. Yeah. I'm glad Celentano's okay, though. Yeah. I mean, an accident's an accident. Sometimes it happens, you know. I mean, it's a sport. It can happen. You just have to let it be what it is. Oh, you're talking about you spending, not the team. Okay. No, yeah, save your money to watch Toronto. Watch TFC. Yeah. Yeah, no. I agree with that. I didn't know what you meant. I thought you were like, hey, in the off season they should use the money the Jays earned to spend on TFC. I get what you were saying. That was my bad. But again, Rogers as a corporation has enough money to spend on both teams in the same offseason. So Columbus has not lost back-to-back matches of the regular season. So it's going to be a very hard job for Cincinnati to sweep them during a derby match in Cincinnati. It's going to be a tough sell. But well, even if they draw over 90. Broncos. Raiders are trash, man. They're trash. Trash. Broncos. I think the Broncos are pretty good this year. So, I mean, Bo's had a little bit of a sophomore slump, but I mean, what else do you expect? I mean, it's normally happens unless you're Drake May. Drake May might be the NFL MVP in his second season. He might be. He might be. I think he is. I'm just wearing the black and gold because there's 2 black and gold wearing teams playing today, and I didn't want to change my jersey. So, I mean, more black and yellow than black and gold, but I'm lazy and I'm honestly depressed right now. Or numb. Depressed is not the right word, but numb. You know? So, I could give a fuck. I could give a crap less changing my shirt from an NXT, from that shirt that I'm wearing off camera, my division champion shirt, to an NXT shirt because it's black and yellow, to a black and gold jersey. Also, the squeezes between these 2 games are tied anyway. So either way, you know, I mean, I could give a rat's ass. 7 minutes in, I'm numb. I could give a rat's ass. Holy Lord. I can't say I'm depressed because that's just harsh, but I mean, you know what? Respect. Be cool to see the Avs. I have a soft spot for them. They're a good team. And Martin deserved that contract, by the way. That was an amazing extension by the Colorado Avalanche there. Smart move. About the right AAV, good term. That was a good move. That was a good move from the Avs to re-sign him at that point. Evander, free kick wall for Cincinnati. 8 minutes in, 0-0. Ball played over the top. Saved by Celentano. And perfectly just still in. Just a throw in, though. But does not end up being a corner. And Evander is trying to square up to Shambost. Well, it's Dodgers fans, so, no, I think maybe I'm blind, but I thought they're overall pretty nice. Laughing at me because their team won and my team lost, but hey, the wins don't get you the views, okay? Let me tell you that. The rants get you the views, and the wins don't get you the views. It's the losses that get you the views. You could ask me or Steve Dangle. The wins don't get you the views, man. Unless it's such an amazing game that it's like, yeah, they won, but I want to see that reaction. It's normally the losses and the rants that get the most views. Well, what about the Morocco games? Well, Morocco fans are just absolutely awesome, so there's a difference. And I guess I was rooting for the USA as a CONCACAF guy in those games, but at least the first one. But Morocco fans are just awesome. There's a difference there. But again, I guess Trinidadian fans are awesome as well, and Jamaican fans. But mostly it's the losses, especially review-wise. Mostly it's the losses and the rants that do it. So I'm not surprised. I mean, I am, but I'm not. If the Jays won, nobody would have given a shit. Like, it would only got about, maybe at best, like 500, 1,000 views as a review. So, I mean, it blew up so much because it was a loss. So, but I thought most of them were pretty nice, even though they were laughing. I thought they were pretty nice. But either way, all respect to Dodgers fans. I mean, of course you're going to banter somebody when you win. I can handle it. But you know what? GG's to the Dodgers fans, all respect. And if they subscribed and enjoy the channel from it, hey, cool. Because, I mean, I got like 50 subs off that video itself. So, awesome. So if those are Dodger fans, welcome. Congratulations. And if you enjoy football, welcome. And if I talk about baseball, well, I'm here as well. Hockey, well, I don't know. It won't be the LA Kings, but either way. Yeah, but it's normally the losses. Playing Ford, Columbus, it's normally the losses. Kansas is about to score. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Why? He actually is playing good basketball. He's not foul baiting anymore. He's single-handedly winning for the Thunder. Like, he's turned into a different player. Like, he's not foul baiting anymore. Like, he's just shooting at a high clip. For me, early on, the first couple of weeks, it's Shai. It's Shai. It's not just because he's Canadian. I have my problems with him, with the foul baiting and all that. I mean, if he did it for Canada, I wouldn't complain. But him not doing it, him doing it for a team that I don't really like as a freaking collective, I think they're kind of over energetic or something. Unbearable. There we go. That's the word. But Shai. The way he's been playing, Shea, whatever. You could do both. Either way. Yeah. The way he's playing for the first couple of weeks, yeah. SGA. Yep. They're playing very well. Yeah, I think Rory was the only one who got the Steve Dangle, like, Ask Steve reference. Yeah, it's the losses are what get the views, my friend. In a world like this, the losses and the rants get the views. In a world like this, that's what gets. In this world, the losses and rants are what get the views. That's what it is. I've been around long enough to know from multiple standpoints, you know. Kansas about to score. We already read that, by the way. Nothing really. I mean, the ones that pissed me off, I deleted. Like, there were some that went a bit too far that I removed. There were a couple of those, but nothing too bad. But, you know, playing forward is Columbus. That's a block. Like, he looks 40 but sounds 12. You know, some like along those lines. You know, some along those lines. That was uncalled for. You know, that something like that's uncalled for. But either way. So like things like that. Yeah. Either way. Avalanche sucking overtime pisses me off. There's always some of those teams. It's crazy with the offense you have, though. Touchdown, Kansas. Yeah. Still sucks to lose in overtime, though. 13-28 Bills. 21-28. Okay, it didn't update. There we go. 21-28, 11-18 left. Bills got to score. 2016. And the Rams won. Jaguars are winning. Yeah, good point. Devils and Mammoth for your first big test. Yeah, Utah is actually somewhat good this year, crazily enough. 0-0, settle. Smart down the win for the Jaguars. Oh, no. No, the Raiders came back. My bad. Huh. Google's behind a bit. Well, Rams won. He's right about that. Watch those. I'll wait. Okay. Nil, 16 minutes. $68-yard field goal. I saw. Should be Philly. Denver got screwed against Portland Friday. I didn't see enough of it to say. 16th minute playing forward. What we got? Controversy creates cash. Eric Bischoff said it. And he's right. He's right. I agree with Eric. In the end, I agree with Eric. Cincinnati playing forward. Yep, I saw that. You told me yesterday. I didn't forget it. Because they are. Turns out the Packers aren't special. As special as people thought. Evander with a corner. 17th minute. Oh. Ball crossed in. Headed on. Caught. No. Be a free kick for Columbus, though. They got a reprieve there. Says, can't stand their BS. F Apple, can't stand their BS. Controlling the MLS, forcing everyone to subscribe. Well, here's the thing. I think this MLS experiment made Formula One realize that they should just be on Apple TV Plus itself instead of its own season pass. So, hey, you know what? That's a positive because I love Formula One and I have Apple TV Plus already. So I get Formula One TV Premium and Formula One for what I already have next year. Just for the Apple TV Plus price. So you know what? Plus the season pass. So that's good. MLS season pass. So, I mean, I need to have it because I'm covering all these games and we're back to it. But, you know, I think Apple could have done it better. But here's the problem. Like, Apple was the dumbest idea, especially when you have Messi. And that's like, hey, you know what? We're going to use Messi to grow our league. And it's behind a damn paywall. It's a wonder, like, and now they're surprised. And now Garber's surprised that, oh, the games that people watch the most of Messi are the ones you could actually find on at least a different channel, cable-wise. Like, oh, the Club World Cup. DAZN had that for free. You didn't have to subscribe to that, and TNT and other networks across the world with sub-licensing agreements, of course. The Champions Cup, that's on regular TV. People watch those games. Open Cup, at least those games are on Paramount. When he did play the Open Cup. Lease Cup and MLS, well, at least some Lease Cup games that he played were on TUDNA, so you could at least stream it third party that way. Hell, they don't even put the MLS, like the Messi games, on FS1 when it's playoff time. You know? It's like Apple TV wants Messi just to be there, so that's kind of a crazy part, really. No. Arguably, I would trade the CM Punk world title win, the Mississippi State win, and the Leafs win last night for a World Series win. I would have traded it all for that. If you told me in the morning after I woke up, or after I woke up on Saturday, hey, Mississippi State, Leafs, and CM Punk are going to win tonight, but the Jays are going to lose. Do you want to change that? I'll be like, damn right I do. What need does State need to beat Arkansas? We're best case scenario, we're going to a bowl on December 18th. Good for you, son. You might just get that Morocco opening game as the season finale for RSR this year, by the way. You better be rooting for State to get that shitty bowl game on December 18th. By the way. So I'm like, you know what? I can wait 2 days. We'll do the freaking Morocco opening game and then have that as a season finale. Then we'll be back for the knockout stage. You better root for that. So I guess you want State to only win one more game. So we have that shitty bowl game. Either way. If they don't have a bowl game, I'm not doing it. If they have a bowl game after Christmas, no, I need my break. With that being said, if State gets that shitty bowl game like on December 18th, I'll wait like 2 days to do the finale of the season with a Morocco AFCON opening game. So you should be rooting for State to only win one more game of their last three. With that being said, no, I would have totally traded that. The Leafs are shit this year. They're going to be shit this year. State is a joke, and Jeff Levy's a damn fool, and Blake Shapen, well, he ain't good. And CM Punk, well, it's wrestling, and I'm barely watching at this point anyway. I mean, a Jey Uso world title reign, anything I caught of it would be hell, but you know what? We already went through it once, so yeah, if you could have told me I could have traded that all for a World Series win, I would have done it for sure. But, you know, whatever. Can't wait for a Champions Cup return. I think 2030 something. So into the 30s. 22 minutes, 0-0. I like Apple, but that's up to you. So, again, son, root for Mississippi State to win one more game this year and nothing more. They have only 3 games left, and they're all against Mizzou, Georgia, and Ole Miss. So, yeah, the best case scenario is we're probably just winning one more. So, You might get your wish. You might get your wish getting the Morocco opener as long as State wins one of those last three, which, frankly, we're not beating Georgia. Oh, we're hosting them, though. Oh, we're still losing, but okay, yeah. Mizzou, we might beat Mizzou, but we're in Columbia, Missouri. Ole Miss, I think we're winning the Egg Bowl. That's my best guess. I think it's going to be the Egg Bowl to go 6-6 and get the bowl game, and that'll be like December 18th or some shit. Like December 18th or some shit. Like a horrible bowl game. Horrible bowl game, but we did it to ourselves. With that being said, AFCON, congratulations. They just did it. I couldn't forget. They just did it. How we doing? Yep. I wish I was over there too, but the paywall on Apple TV was just dumb. To grow MLS, it needs as many eyeballs as possible. America, the sport isn't as big as it is in other countries. It's still a relatively fledgling sport. Exactly. No, I agree. Like, Apple TV has good content, or good HD, and I mean, their announcers are okay and every game's there, but I mean, yeah, local sports networks are not a thing. Like, regional sports networks are dying. That's a big part of it. But I think we could have had a happy medium instead of just Apple having everything with a couple of sub-license games here and there, especially with Messi. I mean, this was their time to break the glass ceiling, and they shot themselves in the foot. They added another layer of glass over the glass ceiling that was already cracking. I never said Don Garber was a smart guy. He's an idiot and a puppet. I have my problems with Don. Like, I like Apple as a product, but I watch all these games and I cover all these games. I need to have it. But looking at it from a consumer point of view, yeah, no, I can understand why it sucks. Playing for it is Columbus, but I never said Don Garber was a smart guy, and I never will. I think Don Garber's an idiot and a puppet for Jorge Mas. Especially. I think that man is an idiot. I think he knows nothing of football. You want to talk about a country where it's a fledgling sport? Don Garber's a good businessman, sort of, to like keep the league afloat and make it grow out of its incubator, so to speak. Yeah, he did a good job of that, but the dude doesn't know how to grow a league exponentially, to break a glass ceiling. He's not that type of guy. And to do that, it has to be a football league, not an Americanized hodgepodge of bullshit that plays soccer. That's not how this works. I do love the old shootout. But other than that, ball crossed in. I never said it should be back in game, but like during the skills challenge, do it. But either way, Don Garber's an idiot in my book. I think he's hurts this league more than he helps it at this point. He helped it along a lot. A long time ago, he helped it, but now he's just hurting it more than he helps. And that's the problem. And I think he's a puppet for Jorge Mas. Anything Jorge Mas and Beckham want, he's going to do. And he's like, well, but look, we need to have a freaking Premier League fall-spring schedule, when everything he says is like we're already doing with a summer schedule. This country doesn't fit that schedule. You just want that schedule because it helps Miami more, even though you don't have a winter at all down there. Like, there's barely a winter in Orlando. Ask me how I know. But with that being said, there's definitely no winter in Miami. It might get a little bit chilly in the morning, but they don't play in the mornings. This ain't freaking MLS is back. Headed away. With that being said, Don Garber's an idiot. I think he's an idiot. Shot it in! No, it went wide. It went wide in this game. Free kick for Cincinnati. Okay. No. If I do, it'll be a Samurai Japan one, but no. Who's winning Champions Cup and can Defense Force make it to Champions Cup? Winning it? Toluca. My big favorites are Toluca, LAFC. I think they're in. I think. If LAFC makes it, they're a big favorite. Vancouver, regrettably, is a big favorite. Cruz Azul, if they could keep this current form up, I like their chances. If they requalified, I think, did they? Either way, ask me when the draw happens. Can Defense Force make it? Well, best case scenario, they have the third place match. Can they beat O&M? If O&M goes to the third place match, I think they can. If it's Sabal, they're cooked. If Sabal screws this up from here, they're cooked. If O&M goes, I think Defense Force can make it. I don't think O&M is as good as Mount Pleasant. So I think it was more the fact they were playing on a damn slip and slide than them being good, per se. It depends on who they face. If they face Sabal and Sabal gets upset, no, they're cooked. If they play O&M, I think Defense Force could beat them. Still about 60-40, but I think they can. I know. 0-0, settle. Yep. Oh, yeah, they were talking about trophies won by Canadian teams. Guess what? Last night on Fox, they didn't put TFC in there. The one that they won was on ABC, but still. ESPN. Yeah, I think. But also, Apple TV is worldwide. Like, that's how MLS gets distributed worldwide. But the problem is, if you don't want to pay that money, it's hard to pirate Apple TV. Like, it's like Fort Knox. It's very hard to do. Columbus fans think there should be a red card there. Raiders going to lose. They were up with 30 seconds. What do you mean? Oh, they're in overtime. Oh. Jaguars should score no matter what. Yeah. And they have the ball. Did the Raiders have the ball? We're going to find out if Jacksonville scores. Playing forward. I mean, I'm numb. That's where I am. I'm numb. I was sad in the moment, but I'm numb right now. Like I feel nothing. I feel nothing. So at least I'm not pissed off and I'm not still crying. I'm just numb. I'm just numb. I feel nothing. What bothers me, Trinidad players at USA have no football to play. Oh, yeah, Wayne got a Western Conference final tonight, and he'll barely play. Knowing the Rapids, too, coach, he'll barely play. But again, I'm sorry, son, but a spring fall schedule does not fit this country. Half the teams are going to be playing in snow, even outside of a winter break. It does not fit. You cannot do it. You could say, but their off season basically is a winter break, Ryan. So, playing forward. Shot, goal! Columbus takes the lead. 1-0. Max Arfston, what a run. slots it past Celentano, and Columbus have the lead. Excuse me. 1-0. 1-0. Jacksonville makes a touchdown. Yeah, but I'm trying to be professional and not complain all the time on stream right now because we're talking about football. We're back to the regularly scheduled programming, but trust me, deep down, I'm hurt. I'm hurt deep down. But what a play by Arfston there. One 0 for Columbus. They haven't lost back-to-back matches all year. Playing forward, shot wide, and they almost got a second. They're on fire right now. There's always next year. Good job, Trillium Ravel on the goal. Rapids 2 coaches the clown. He played max games Open Cup for Rapids first team. Chris Armas said Wayne Frederick has a good work ethic and proper game IQ. And Chris Armas got, well, I wouldn't say fired, but he left the Rapids. So what does that tell you? I mean, no disrespect to Chris, but I think that's more of a shot at the Rapids organization in general than Chris right now. They have a horrible organization. That's all my point is. Let's go. It's not easy to get there. Other teams are guaranteed to reinforce. This is Rogers of MLSE who refused to reinforce. Yeah, but I feel like they might. Well, they didn't really reinforce after 2015, and we saw what happened there. And then, of course, they blew it up. But I feel like they'll at least keep Bo and Bassett and Scherzer, or at least two of the three. If Scherzer don't retire, he might come back. They'll extend you Savage, I'm sure. I hope they don't re-sign IKF, but he might just come back of his own volition. Awesome. I told you he was shit, by the way. I was right, wasn't I? If he just got a secondary lead, we would have won the World Series on a walk-off. Also, if he ran through the base, if he did either one of those things or both at the same time, we would have won the World Series on a walk-off. Ground out. If he would have just taken a secondary lead or just ran through the base, because the slide makes you slower, especially foot first. If he would have done one or the other, if not both at the same time, we would have won. And that's over the top. Good clearance by the crew. So, we'll see. Chris is a good guy. At least he played Wayne. I agree. Chris trusts the youth players, especially when he can. I agree. Columbus has looked horrible for a good part of this year, and I wouldn't say it's his fault. I'd say it's injuries and all the circumstances, but you're right. No, you can't write them off, and I didn't, but Cincinnati has a penchant for choking, so again, it was never over till it was over. And if Columbus wins this game, they have to go to a game 3 in Cincinnati, and it's a rivalry game against a choking team who has a penchant for choking and a team who still has the pedigree to win in Wilfred Nancy's crew. And at some point, Westham could be back, probably after the international break, but they could just survive, they might have a chance to win the MLS Cup out of nowhere. But no, I agree. They're a threat until I picked Columbus to win this tie because of how dirty it looked. But it doesn't shock me that Columbus might pull this off. And a tackle outside the box, and that's a red card. Red card. Red card for Kubo. It gets from bad to worse for Cincinnati. Set off Yuya Kubo. He's off. He's off. Straight red card. Columbus are up a man. And Yuya Kubo, dog so tackle. He's gone. Free kick for the Crew. Good run, and that's a dog so tackle, and that's a dirty tackle too. It ain't just a dog so tackle. That is a dirty tackle, but good run. Heads up run, and then just gets clattered from the back. Herrera does. Yep, no ball. Just cuts down his legs. That might have been just inside the box too, but that's a red card for Kubo. And the Crew are up a man. They're tied 1-1. Miami are going to a game 3 in Miami against Nashville. They might blow it again. So the Raiders didn't have the ball, but they have 2 minutes to score a touchdown. Okay. That was a dirty tackle, really. But yeah, the Rams won. The Bills are winning with the ball. 51 seconds. And the Chiefs got the ball. 22 seconds. Bills might have to find a way to survive. Chiefs have to get a touchdown to tie. Cincinnati cooked tonight? I think they might be. How we doing, Gunners boss? How we doing? And you're right, it is the game of inches. Every sport is. Every sport is a game of inches in general, in my opinion. But yeah, baseball is one of them for sure. Again, if IKF would have got a secondary lead or just ran through the base, there you go. 20 seconds in overtime for the Raiders and the Chiefs playing. Because reasons. I mean, the Chiefs are a playoff team. They're a team who doesn't die. Shot! Goal! 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 Shambos! Goal for the Crew! What a free kick from Dillon Shambos! 2-0. 2-0. No, I don't feel like it. Thank the Jays for choking. Thank the Jays for choking. Cornelius was awful. Celtic, Scottish Cup semifinal. Celtic are now in the final. Well, what do you know? Huh. Surprising, eh? No, it's not. I can't give Mahomes so much time in that amount of field. Yeah, but the Chiefs have to score a touchdown, not just a field goal to go on to overtime. So it's 12 seconds left. I mean, what's Mahomes going to do with 40 yards? Right? Holy shit, they could win it with a 2-point conversion, too. Don't tell me. Playing him forward. Blocked. Second and goal at the Jacksonville 3 for the Raiders with 25 seconds to go. Whoa. 3 seconds for the Chiefs. Well, the Raiders would have to go for 2 to win if they scored. I'm sure they would try. It's like seconds to go anyway, and it's the only time you get the ball, so. I'm sure you'd rather win than tie. 2nd and goal at the Jacksonville 2. And the Bills win. The Bills win over the Chiefs. I was right about that one. Sunday, Monday, and then 2 more games. DPI on the Jaguars, the end zone. Yeah, that makes sense. 10 seconds. That's got to suck. Bills have won it. Yep. One more game to play before they start Seahawks Commanders. And then, of course, there is Arizona versus Dallas on Monday, which I'm watching Seattle play Minnesota anyway when it comes to the MLS. So we'll keep an eye on it. But 10 seconds. Yay, Bills. They get the win. I told you. Raiders tied up. Touchdown, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers with a touchdown, and the Raiders tied up. Will they kick it or go for 2? Will they kick it or go for 2? 2 can win it. If they get the 2, they win the game. If they kick it, they get the tie. See if they go for it. I don't know. Going for 2 in the win. Smart decision. They don't get it, they lose. They get it, they win. Because there'll be both possessions given. So 30-30. '45th minute. Apple TV, and I would guess MLS Next Pro's YouTube channel. Playing forward, that's wide. Should be 3-0. Should be 4, frankly. And the Jaguars, hold on. Jaguars win. Raiders missed the extra point, or the 2-point. Had the Jaguars winning. I was right about that. Okay. So where am I? Corner, that'd be a goal kick. 7 minutes of stoppage time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 14. 10 is my possible best tonight. Okay. Jaguars defense hold, score, 1-point win. Kansas lost. Yep. Chelsea beat Tottenham. I know. I'm not talking about it because I have no reason to. Or I don't want to, I should say. Brock Bowers. Boca Juniors won earlier at Estudiantes because of stoppage time penalty. Columbus all over Cincinnati, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Columbus is just the better team so far. '48th minute. 52 minutes of stoppage time. Or, yeah, 52 minutes be stoppage, yeah. '48 minutes, 2-0. Dulcicero. This game's obviously well, at least Forge is in CONCACAF, even though they lost. So the final of the CPL this year is Ottawa versus Calgary. So Ottawa will host Calgary. 2-0, 49th minute. First ever CPL final that does not have Forge in it. For the first time ever. That sucks. Arsenal's hot. Liverpool's not. Going to the World Series is hot. Losing at home to the Dodgers is not. Well, yeah, at least the Jays made it. And then lost. Playing Ford. Chambos. I mean, the Broncos jerseys are cool. Like, I have no problem wearing a Broncos jersey and collecting one. Question is it a throwback or is it a current? I don't know. '50th minute, 2 minutes to go. Throwback jerseys are fire. How many Canadian Premier League teams are going to the Champs Cup? Forge, the winner of Ottawa, and Calgary and Vancouver FC, 3. Of course, the Whitecaps are going through MLS as MLS Canadian teams. There's 4 Canadian teams, 3 CPL teams. Forge are in as the Shield winners. Corner. The team who wins the CPL final of Calgary and Ottawa will make the Champions Cup as well. Calgary could either go back-to-back or Ottawa could win their first CPL title. North Star Cup. One of the two. Sound the league is growing. Yeah, I saw. I've seen what Pablo investigating the Clippers and Kawhi. And frankly, the more I look, the more I'm glad the Raptors didn't sell out to Kawhi, because Kawhi absolutely just dragged the Clippers over the coals. I think the Raptors made the right decision letting Kawhi walk. And frankly, even without him, we would have won the title if there was no COVID. We would have won back-to-back if COVID wasn't the thing. Because we were hot. Like, we were hot early 2020. We were still really good. COVID ruined us. Like, that bubble, like the stoppage and then the bubble and the fact Siakam couldn't train and all that. If COVID never happened, the Jays or the Raptors would have won the NBA championship back-to-back, even without Kawhi. I will say that till the day I die. But either way, I think the Raptors made the right decision. In general, halftime 2-0. Dos a 0 Miro Tiempo. We'll take a short break, be back. Talk about the stats, get this one going, and if Columbus could get a third goal, I might jump off at about 7:20 or 20, so I could set up for the next stream for the LA game. With that being said, sit tight, be back. Sit tight, be back. We're back for the That's the Hef. GG's to you, Isaiah. GG's to you. But you know what? You said, or you reposted that thing that said the Dodgers were the 2024, 2023, 24, 23, 24 Chiefs. And it was right. It was exactly right. The Jays played y'all harder than anybody else in the playoffs did. The Chiefs stomped their way to the Super Bowl after having a weak season. They stomped everybody in the playoffs till they got to the 49ers. 49ers played it close. Could have won. Jays played it close and could have won. They lose at the end. So, no, you called it. Whether you were, whoever said that was right and you reposted it, and I hate that it's true, but it was right. It was right. But GG's to y'all. I mean, y'all earned it. We pulled our foot off the gas. We couldn't execute when we had to. And Dalton Varsho is a horrible hitter, and Isaiah Connor-Falef is a shit player. We couldn't execute when we had to. Y'all did. That changes everything. The heart of a champion, right? I mean, y'all been there, done that. Y'all executed. Us, on the other hand, whoever you want to blame, didn't. Varsho hit a freaking fly ball in the 9th. We win. We walk off. If IKF had a secondary lead or just runs through the bag, we win. But we couldn't. We didn't have the experience to. They played with their hearts, not their heads. The Dodgers played with their heads, not their heart. And in the end, that's what did it, in my opinion. Yep. So, I mean, respect. But with that being said, stats to have 63% possession, 37% possession, 9 shots to 1, 6 shots on goal to 0, 227 accurate passes, 87% to 125, 80%, 8 fouls to 7, 6 corners to 2, 9 shots to 1, 2 shots off goal to 0, 6 shots on goal to 0. We have 260 passes to 157, 87% pass accuracy to 80, 7 throws to 7. We have 10 touches opposition box to 2, 2 offside to 0, 0 yellow cards to 0 red cards to 1. And we have 2-0. 2-0 middle tiempo. Columbus has been beating the hell out of Cincinnati. I mean, yeah, the red card helps, but Columbus has been all over Cincinnati all night. Let's be real. Columbus wants to play another game, and they're earning it at their own house. They're not going down in their own house. They might go down next weekend, but they ain't going down now, is what it looks like. But it's 45 more minutes. When they play, we'll see about 7:20. If this is obviously a Columbus win, I'll pull the stream so we can move on to the next game and do the LAFC Austin game. Probably go a little bit longer because I'm not changing. But other than that, and then we have one game tomorrow, that being Seattle, Minnesota. And we have 3 game 3s so far. We could have a fourth. If Columbus win here. If Austin wins later, we could have a 5th. If Seattle wins tomorrow, we could have a 6th. 6 out of 8 game 3s is still possible, but who knows? 4 definitely looks likely. We'll see about 5 and 6, but that's still probably more than normal. Yep. There's so many ways you could say, hey, the Jays should have won, or where they could have won, and they didn't. They gave the Dodgers way too much life. They didn't put them to the sword, and they definitely could have. Game 3 is going to haunt me a lot, knowing we could have easily won that game and swept y'all. Well, not swept, y'all. Gentlemen swept because Yamamoto's still Yamamoto. But, you know. But either way. Yep. Yep. If he ran through the plate or had the lead, secondary lead, we would have won. If he had both, we certainly would have won. Isaiah Connor-Falefa is an idiot. The dude, I'm sorry, the man's an idiot. He's a horrible baseball player. Like, dude, go and run through the plate. Slide slows you down because you're basically throwing yourself on the brakes, and you were inches away. Like, you were right there as Will Smith put his foot back down. You run through the plate full speed as a pinch runner, you know, that's a World Series win. If he has the lead and runs through it, I don't think there would have been a play at the plate. If he just ran through it, there might still have been a play at the plate, and we're off. And he gave him room to run through it. It's not like Will Smith crowded the plate. Most of the plate was open. He was on the edge of the plate. He could have ran through it and not hit him, by the way, if he was worried about the slide rule. He gave him the whole plate. Will Smith made the play on the corner of the plate. He gave him the whole plate. He was not going to truck him. If he was worried about that, if that's what IKF was worried about, okay. Because, I mean, yeah, the slide rule is harsh. And if they were like, well, he trucked him, so. And knowing the umpires, he probably was like, it's probably safer for me to slide and hopefully make it. Maybe that was his thought. That it was like, maybe it's safer for me to slide and try to make it that way. He should have had a lead then. He didn't do that. If he had a lead and slid, he still might have made it. But maybe he was worried that if he basically trucked him, if he had to run through the base and he ended up trucking him, do they check it? Do the Dodgers challenge and get the challenge, get the run taken away? Understandably, I can kind of understand it like that because I don't know what the umpires would have done. I don't know what they would have done. I feel like, yeah, if he trucked him, incidentally or not, because he ran through the plate, would they have taken away the run? Probably, knowing the MLB umpires, but that would have hurt even more. So, I mean, I kind of understand it in that thought process, but hopefully this doesn't stop your form getting back. 26, your team is good as fuck. Another ace and IKF replacement would do wonders and pay Bo. I think they're going to pay Bo. We're going to keep Bieber. I think Scherzer's going to stay. Bassett will stay. Now, the question is, does Bassett stay as a closer or a starter until the playoffs? I think just throw him in the pen. Have him be a closer and push down Hoffman a line. Honestly, Hoffman, Anthony, Bassett sounds so much better to me than Anthony, Hoffman. Varland is still there. If he needs to be used, he can be. Like 7-8 innings should be by committee. If you want to use Hoffman, use Hoffman. If you want to use Varland, use Varland. You want to use Flaherty, use Flaherty. Like that. If you want to use Anthony, use Anthony. Jimmy Garcia should be back, so that'll be good. Sandlin, I think, is on a multi-year deal, so he should be back, and he got hurt early, and he should be better. Or if he played, we would have been better off in the bullpen. So there's that as well. I think Bassett should come back as the closer, get re-signed and be the closer. or I guess maybe a rover, but I'd prefer closer. I think Hoffman's ass. But either way, Savage will be amazing. I think they'll extend Savage. That might be their second ace. They still have Gosman, Bieber, Savage. Barrios will be back healthy. Let's not forget that. Scherzer. I mean, another ace. I mean, if you have Gosman, Savage, Bieber, and Barrios with an old Max, if Max retires, then Marcus Stroman. That's more me just being like, I want Marcus to get his damn ring, but he finally has infield defense. So I think Marcus will do just fine as a 5 starter if it ain't Scherzer. And I think Marcus has been humbled a bit. I'm not going to lie. No disrespect, but would the 2015 Marcus Stroman fit in this current Jays locker room? Hell no. Would the current Marcus Stroman fit in this locker room? I think so. Like, he still believes in himself, but getting treated the way the Yankees did and growing up, there's a difference. I mean, I love the chip on Stroh's shoulder, but I can admit sometimes. Either way, I think he's grown up to a certain extent, so I think he deserves his ring, so why not give him a chance if Scherzer doesn't come back? But either way, we already have 4 aces if they bring back Bieber, so that's what I'm looking at there. IKF needs to go. I would prefer. Shit, we ain't getting Tommy Edman, so that sucks. Brendan Donovan wouldn't be bad, no. Could the Cardinals do some dumb shit, give us Brendan Donovan or something? That wouldn't be bad. I think Brendan Donovan wouldn't be too bad. I don't think that'd be too bad if they did some dumb shit there, but either way. Maybe just Jonathan Class A, but either way. It's okay. But again, 2-0 for Columbus. Yeah, but they're already a contender anyway. I do need to criticize Dave Roberts. We won. That requires coaching adjustments. But why was the batting order never altered? Kike was batting 9th and was the best hitter. Well, I don't know. I mean, can we say anybody was the best hitter on the Dodgers besides Ohtani? Can we really do that? I mean, Kike had his moments, but I'd say more defensively than anything during that series, which is weird for him. But either way, I mean, Betts had his moments, Freeman had his moments, but again, the problem with the Dodgers is like, yeah, some guys had their moments every so often, but it was really Ohtani and Yamamoto with, hey, oh, look, Rojas scored a home run. Will Smith hit 2. Freeman hit a homer. Betts got a hit. Kike hit a homer. Didn't they lose that game anyway? Either way, I don't know. I think you're just Columbus or Cincinnati are a choking team, so do with that what you will. Mookie was cold, should have batted bottom. I agree with that there. I agree with that. But he did drop Mookie throughout the series from like 2nd to 5th. So, I mean, he was getting there. Andy Paez got dropped out of the lineup for Justin Dean and Edman and Alex Call and guys of that nature. So, Andy Paez was horrible during the postseason. I don't think he should have played at all during the World Series. I mean, he did make an amazing catch in Game 7, but at bat-wise, it was a wonder he played like 3 or 4 games of the World Series for the bulk of it until Game 3? But Rojas playing, he had his moments, but yeah. playing forward. It's a wonder. Like, you know what? I will say, though, about the Dodgers, I'm happy to see Kershaw go out with a ring. And you could arguably say that Kershaw did something this time. I mean, he got the one out on Lucas that ended up helping them win Game 3. So he did actually contribute this time to a real ring. But Kershaw, seeing him go out with 3 rings, winning a ring on his final game, you know, he deserves that. The sad part is Kershaw did nothing in 24 for the ring. 2020 was the COVID year, and then at least he had the out against Lucas in Game 3, so he did make his presence felt. But seeing Kershaw go out with a ring, at least he had a part of this one, which makes it feel a bit better for him. But that's one thing I'm glad to see is Kershaw goes out with a ring. I don't know if it changes his legacy, but, you know, but he made the catch to save the game. Almost knocked out Kike as well, but he made the catch to save the game. So do that what you will. My favorites to qualify in November, I think Suriname might finish the job in Group A. I think Suriname will finish the job. I think Jamaica's, after Hurricane Melissa, I mean, Jamaica's starting to figure it out under Steve McLaren, but they're still top of the table. But I think Jamaica's going, they have to. Jamaica has to. Like, it would hurt if they didn't. Like, at this point, I think Jamaica needs to qualify for the World Cup. Because if they don't, like, they're top of the table. They've started to figure it out playing Curacao and Trinidad. They got to get this. They have to qualify. In Group C, I'm going to go Honduras. Now with pitching, that's basically on the guys. They don't perform. Only thing I hated was Roberts not using Klein at all Game 7 when he was lights out and high leverage. Yeah, but he also used Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And let's be real, Snell didn't get shelled. At least no runs came in. Like, he would have been charged with one of those runs if we walked it off. But Glasnow didn't do too horribly. Snell didn't do too horribly, especially for short rest. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is a freaking robot, you know. Like, Klein did well in Game 3, but if you had to put them with each other, I mean, Yoshinobu Yamamoto legitimately killed the Jays. Will Klein, no disrespect, he did what he did against a AAA Jays roster and a slightly slumping Vlad and a AAA Jays roster. Who's to say he would have done that against, well, Varsho is ass, but Kirk was out, so who knows? Bo Bichette was out, but IKF, okay, so either way, what would he done against Addison Barger? He didn't face Barger. He didn't face Clement. I go with Yamamoto, the guy who's been killing them, their best lineup heavily. I understand why Roberts went where he went, but either way, happy to see Kirsch go out on top. Amazing setup, man, in Game 3. Yep. Save Game 3. I think they should have pulled Savage after one inning. I think the Jays should have went Savage, Sir Anthony, Hoffman. I think Savage didn't have it. I think he got lucky in that first relief inning. I think that Muncy home run meant a lot. I love Trey Savage. I think he's awesome. He's going to be an ace. he did not have it. He got lucky throughout that first relief inning. In Game 7, I would have taken out Savage after 1, brought in Sir Anthony. I don't think he gives up that homer. Then bring in Hoffman. So if Rojas did hit the homer, Ohtani still would have came up with 1 out, 1 down. If he hits a homer, it's Ohtani, so be it. But I think for me, my big thing was it should have been Savage, Sir Anthony, and Hoffman. You should have quit while you were ahead with Savage. He got the 7th. He got lucky. They got out of it. He didn't really have it. Bring in Sir Anthony, and if it goes to semi shit, you bring in Fluharty. Or did they already use Fluharty? Either way. I'm trying to think. Did they? It's all a blur now, but no, Savage should have been pulled after the 7th. Or after the 7th. Hoffman should not have went a 4-out save. That was part of the problem. Hoffman goes more than 3 outs, he's ass. Like, I think Savage should have been pulled after the 1 inning. Then Sir Anthony, then Hoffman. Or you could have done back-to-back. That's my opinion there. LA champions of baseball and soccer. Well, I mean, baseball, yes, but we got to see if LAFC wins. But for now, yeah, the Galaxy are still reigning champions and bottom of the league. Not through their own fault, really. Well, I don't know about that. But either way. Yeah, as I said, he would have been charged with a winning run if we walked it off, yes. But he didn't because Yamamoto's a robot. Or a dragon, I think. Yeah, dragon's better. Yeah, the Rams might do it next. Yeah, I mean, the Rams, if they figure their stuff out, yeah, they can. The Rams could still win a Super Bowl. I hope if they make it, it's a team like the Steelers playing, y'all. Why? Because I do not want... Well, no, I rooted for the Bengals, didn't I, when they made it that one time. Like, what I'm saying is I hope it's not Chiefs-Rams because I don't know what the hell to do. Do I buy a Kurt Warner jersey and call them the St. Louis Rams for 2 weeks just to somehow stomach it and not root for the Chiefs? Or do I root for the Chiefs because fuck Stan Kroenke? And you should still be in St. Louis. And he's a rat bastard. I don't know what to do. So I hope it's the Steelers or the Patriots. Because Steelers, well, you know why I root for. Well, if you could add 2 + 2 together, you know why. But y'all don't really want to listen, do you? Player down the box. But either way. And if it's the Patriots, well, yeah. So I just hope it's not Chiefs-Rams because I don't know what I'm going to do. Do I wear a St. Louis Rams Mark Bulger jersey or a Kurt Warner gold, midnight gold jersey or a Torrey Holt midnight gold St. Louis jersey or a Steven Jackson one and just call him St. Louis for 2 weeks to stomach it? Or do I don't know. I don't know. Agreed. Well, okay, the Lakers do have Luka Doncic, but well, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's my point. Do I root for the LA? If it's Chiefs-Rams, do I root for the LA Rams wearing St. Louis stuff and call them St. Louis for 2 weeks to stomach it? Or do I root for the Chiefs because fuck Stan Kroenke and the Rams should be in St. Louis? Which one? Which one? I don't win either way. It hurts either way. $7:08, 62 minutes, 2-0. Oh. LAFC Miami should be the final. Gotta see Miami. I agree. I would love that. If Drake May doesn't make the AFC title. It would be funny if the Patriots and Steelers made the AFC title game together. I'm happy either way, weirdly. I might root for the Patriots more in that game, especially if the Steelers have won a couple of playoff games, because I think they deserve to with Aaron, because they've had their best quarterback since Ben. But I win either way, weirdly. Weirdly, I win either way. If it's a Patriots-Steelers AFC title game, I win either way. Yeah, Bo Nix is having a freaking sophomore slump. Sadly enough, guess who's having an MVP season as a sophomore in the NFL? Drake May. Drake May for MVP. Drake May for MVP. I said it now. I'll say it. Drake May is the MVP. I said it. Drake May is baby GOAT. The Patriots are back. The Patriots are back. Drake May is baby GOAT. Mike Vrabel is baby Belichick. We are back. We are back. We are back. Honestly, I think you're right. Shot, goal, Columbus! 3-0! Herrera scores! 3-0 Crew! Taps it in, 3-0. They couldn't get past Flores. Yeah, exactly. Y'all would have beat the Chiefs, I think. They had no defense. Yeah. I mean, y'all did the right thing by trading for Matt Stafford, but Jared Goff now has a team that believes in him and turn him into a really good quarterback in the Lions. So, frankly, I think both teams won the trade, weirdly enough. Like, I think both the Rams and the Lions won the Goff-Stafford trade, weirdly enough. Probably the first ever both teams won the trade type thing. I think both teams did. Yeah. That's true. Still is, too. A little bit. I mean, did you watch the Commanders NFC divisional game? Awesome. You love to see it. Hopefully that continues. And we have an AFC title game of Patriots versus Steelers. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And either way, I win. I'd probably prefer the Patriots to win personally. And I think a certain somebody would prefer the Steelers to win, but I think we both would recognize we win either way. If that's the AFC title game, as long as whoever wins the Super Bowl. But whoever wins, the other's going to root for the other team in the team who wins the AFC title game in the Super Bowl, even if their team loses. I prefer it to be the Patriots, but yes. The Chiefs' defense sucks, so of course I could see the Rams cooking in that Super Bowl, yeah. There's a reason why they got Spagnuolo. There's a reason why the Chiefs got Spagnuolo, and that was a really good move. That Bob Sutton defense was ugly. I'm not saying Jared Goff's Tom Brady, but, No, Drake May. Drake May. No, Drake May. Drake May and Baker for MVP. Yeah, that's true. Personally, the Super Bowl I want the most is a tie between Patriots or Steelers, one of them two, versus the Bucks or the Lions. Like, if the NFC and AFC title games were Bucks versus Lions, and Patriots versus Steelers. Any way that ended up, I'd be happy. Goal, 4-0 Columbus, Jason Russell Rowe. Jason Russell Rowe. Score, 4-0, 4-0. Columbus is all over Cincinnati. Oh, Cincinnati might be choking again. Yeah. Well, except Bill Belichick probably just may have cursed North Carolina in a different way. Or was it Jordan Hudson? Either way. Was it Bill who cursed him or was it his girlfriend? There we go. Herrera. Belt to ass. I know. We've been talking about it. Belt to birdie. I mean, you would think with the Rams roster, Stafford has a couple more chances, whether it's this year or not. Stafford has been more punished throughout his career, though. Partially because Stafford is an absolute daredevil and partially because he played for the Lions. But, I mean, dude, Tom Brady was never injured and punished as much as Stafford was. And I say that respectfully. Matt Stafford is a daredevil. The dude's a daredevil. And he might play for as long as Brady did just because he's a nut job. Respectfully, a nut job. Respectfully, 4-0. He might play on a damn wheelchair. And it honestly wouldn't shock me. But, yeah, he's got a couple of chances with the Rams roster. If it's not this year. 4-0. No, not. Rodgers does. People in Toronto, no, I think they're happy rooting for the Bills in Buffalo. I mean, there is the Argos in the CFL, but, I don't really think NFL team in Toronto is going to happen anyway. Levi Garcia scored a banger today. Good, son. More like a match made in hell. Good. Really? Headed over the bar. Played Stafford and Kershaw in HS high school as a sophomore. Well, hello, Aunt BC. All love. You aged yourself there. Oh, yeah, Stafford and Kershaw did go to the same high school. They did, yeah. Yeah, they did. Yeah, no, I do remember that being said, yeah. Or same area, at least. It's ironic you're an LA fan now, I guess. I don't know how Stafford does it, to be honest. I don't hear his name much anymore. Yeah, he's a top 5 quarterback every time. I respect it, frankly. Like, Matthew Stafford might be the most underrated quarterback of all time. No joke. Like, I respect it. Like, I respect the guy. 100%. I mean, watched him play his whole career. And down in the box, no penalty on Picard. See, Bo. Yeah, fair enough. That's true. But I think the NFL wants to expand to London anyway. I agree. No, I don't disagree. That was my point. Because they were an awful team, except for him and Megatron, but it was an awful team. It's an awful team. Why do you think Megatron pulled a Barry Sanders? Born there, grew up in Phoenix and Dallas. Oh, okay. That's cool. So my question is, were you a Rams fan when they were in St. Louis? Or did you stop being an NFL fan when Georgia moved the team to St. Louis? Just a question. Your answer, well, I mean, that's going to be, my answer determines my respect for your NFL takes. Not exactly you as a person, but for your NFL takes. Like, if you were a Rams fan before she moved them and then she moved them and you were a Raiders fan or just a Dallas fan or whatever, then no. If you're one of those Rams fans who are like, oh, I'm so glad the Rams are back, but you weren't a Rams fan for the 20 years they were gone, you have no room to talk. But either way. Well, they choked there too, so could you say it's magical? How we doing, Henry? Is Miami in trouble? As always, they are. Oh, okay. So you were a Rams fan. Okay. Respect. And they did come back eventually. Did he know Stan Kroenke? Just a question. Did he know Stan Kroenke? Just a question. Just asking. I want to know how long Kroenke planned to fuck St. Louis. Help them, then fuck them. Because he helped Georgia move the team, and then he fucked St. Louis. And he's from St. Louis, by the way. That's the worst part. The guy helped Georgia move the team to St. Louis. He's from St. Louis, and then he fucked St. Louis. I want to know how long he was planning it, because obviously it was planned. It didn't come out of the blue. No, he planned that shit. He tanked the team. He tanked the team to move them. Like, played around with the city council and all that. Nah, he tanked the team. Either way. Okay, so it's just 76-minute. Oh, so you were just being smart. Okay. So it wasn't all 20 years that Kroenke was planning it, but it happened at some point. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But if you think about it, LA is very good at stealing teams. I mean, the Rams were stolen from Cleveland and sent to St. Louis, then stolen back. The Dodgers were stolen from Brooklyn. The Lakers were stolen from Minneapolis, and the Kings were stolen from... No. I think the LA Kings were always the LA Kings. Okay, so there you go. The LA Kings was always the LA Kings. I was thinking of the Sacramento Kings. Yes, I was thinking about them. Those Kings. That's who I was thinking of moved. Okay, yeah. I was thinking of the NBA ones. My bad. So, okay, you had the Kings. That was your team. But other than that, 78th minute. Cross in. Well, LA Galaxy, LAFC are your teams as well. So they were built there, so that's good as well. And Angel City. No. Alvin Kamara. 78th minute. Oh, Oh, yeah, it's 4-0. They're going to win. So with that being said, we'll jump on to the next stream. True. Oh, yeah, the Chargers were LA, San Diego, the back to LA. Yeah, that's true. Teddy Roosevelt's a badass. FDR, I don't really like FDR. I don't have a positive. I'm not very positive on FDR, but I think Teddy's a badass. Teddy Roosevelt's a badass. FDR, I'm not so positive on. Teddy, though, was a badass. So, there you go. With that being said, Columbus are going to win this game. There's no way Cincinnati's going to score 4 goals down a man in 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. So with that being said, Columbus, they've won. We got to move on to the next stream, set that up on the Rumble side, and we'll get going. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams, comment on this video, put this in playlist, share with friends and family, all that great stuff. I'll see you within the hour, or within minutes, for the Austin LAFC game. By the way, USC, yes, Reggie Bush is the best USC running back of all time. Saints, no. Deuce McAllister, he was a running back, right? Alvin Kamara. Ricky Williams was not. No, I'm not that delusional. Alvin Kamara or Deuce? Yeah. 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 I'm not that stupid to say Ricky Williams was. Well, that being said, but USC, yes. Saints, no. With that being said, sit tight, be back. 4-0 Columbus. And they're going to live another day, another week. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you soon.